Anything definitive on Devin tonight?
I think he's going to play.
What has the matchups been like to watch between Dirk and Kevin?
Well, there are a lot of similarities between the two. When you see a young Kevin Love who's, a few years ago, who's kind of in the developmental stages, you wonder if there hadn't been a Nowitzki, would there be a guy like that that's out shooting threes and doing the things on the perimeter that he's doing. I do believe Dirk's had that impact on the way the game's framed now. Love is a great player, and the matchups have been difficult for us because of his rebounding and scoring and ability to get fouled. He just has been a real load for us to deal with. So we have tons of respect for him, and that's one of the many difficult matchups they present you with.
Having time to look at the film, what were your biggest takeaways from the pairing of Tyson and Amari together?
Well, it wasn't for that long, but there were some positive things. It's a situation where we had to get started with it, and we had to get those guys out there together because there are going to be big lineups and big teams that we play. It was something that we needed to go to back when we had Wright here, and we developed it to where it was, it was a pretty solid combination, with the right guys in there. So it was a beginning. I don't think we did it in the second half. It was only 3 or 4 minutes, but they were positive. So I was pleased with it.
Rick, we all know about the power and the speed and jumping ability that LeBron has. Who was that guy during your playing days that similar to LeBron?
Similar to LeBron James, Michael Jordan, was one of the guys that was like that. And there were some others too. Dominique Wilkins, was a great player. And both of those guys were playing above the rim all the time. I played a little bit against Irving, Julius Irving. His last 3 years of his career were, my first 3, and he was, always one of my favorite players. So I always watched him very closely. And LeBron's got the same, same abilities and skills as all those guys. He kind of is just a total combination, because he can play the point. He can play the 2, the 3, and the 4, and he certainly can play the 5 if you're going to put 4 other smaller guys than him out there.
A couple times this year, LeBron's mentioned how.
And I should mention Magic Johnson too. I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's skill set wise, sort of mind for the game, understanding of the point guard position, ability to score and pass the ball and really see people. I mean, so there's 4 guys.
A couple times this year, LeBron mentioned that 2011 finals still haunt him, and it's something that he even said earlier in the year that's rarely a day goes by that doesn't enter into his mind frame. Do you see the way he's approaches the games against you guys in the regular season since then? He's had a lot of successes. Can you tell there's a little extra motivation on his end, or what are the impressions you had trying to coach against LeBron ever since that finals?
It's always been difficult. So, I mean, to say that, I view it more that the guy's just a great competitor and, more than a personal vendetta, against us. Going through something like that is something that great players go through. Michael Jordan went through a lot of disappointments before he finally, got his first championship. Nowitzki had the same thing here, and in 06 they had a really bitter defeat against Miami, and so there's probably some motivation there. I can't speak to it. I can't read his mind. I have unbelievable respect for him as a player, and I've gotten to know him a little bit and his family a little bit, and they're great people. So whatever the case is with that. But great players are going to be great, and they're going to get greater as their careers move along.